Genius Kids. Cultivating love for learning.
Chapter 1. Computer System. A computer is a general-purpose device that can be programmed to carry out a set of arithmetic or logical operations automatically. Let's study about computer and its peripherals in detail. What is a computer? A computer is an electronic device that stores and processes digital information. Computer takes input as data from input devices. Processing is done by CPU with the help of instructions given by software programs. Information is provided as output using output devices in the form of numbers, words, images, sounds, etc. A computer takes input, processes it according to the given instructions, produces output. Thus, a computer follows a cycle known as input, process, output or IPO cycle. Keyboard. Input data. CPU. Processing. Monitor. Output information. The raw input is called data. This data, which does not make much sense by itself, is processed by the CPU. The useful data obtained after processing is called information. Computer system. A computer system includes both hardware and software. In general, hardware is the physical, electronic and mechanical aspect of the computer that can be seen, and software are the invisible instructions that control the hardware and make it work. Your operating system, Windows, is a software. A computer consists of the following major hardware components: Central Processing Unit, CPU. Primary storage devices, RAM, ROM. Secondary storage devices, hard disk, CDs, DVDs, pen drives. Input and output devices, keyboard, mouse, microphone, monitor, speakers, printer. Let's study about the computer hardware components and their functionality. Central Processing Unit. The Central Processing Unit, CPU, is the actual computer. Everything else is called a peripheral device. It is considered as the brain of the computer. It performs the basic arithmetic and logic operations. Processing and control operations of the computer system are also performed by CPU. It retrieves instructions from memory and executes them. The CPU has three main units. 1. Control Unit, CU. 2. Arithmetic and Logic Unit, ALU. 3. Memory Unit. Control Unit, CU. The control unit controls and coordinates the actions of the other components. It fetches instructions from the memory, decodes them to determine the operations to be performed, and finally carries out these operations. All processes are initiated by the control unit that issues appropriate sequences of micro-operations at regular intervals. Arithmetic and Logic Unit, ALU. The arithmetic and logic unit performs numeric operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and logical operations, comparisons. To complete the execution of an instruction, the control unit may have to issue appropriate control signals to the ALU unit. The speed of the CPU is mainly determined by clock speed. Every computer has an internal clock. The clock emits electronic pulses at a constant rate, and these are used to control and synchronize the pace of operations. The faster the clock speed, the more instructions are executed in a given period of time. The clock speed is measured in megahertz, with 1 megahertz equaling 1 million pulses per second. Electronic computer design is an ever-changing field. Early electronic computers in the 1940s contained vacuum tubes. The introduction of transistor technology brought significant changes in the 1950s. Discrete transistors were followed by integrated circuits, ICs, of transistors, very large-scale integration, VLSI, circuits with thousands of transistors, and LC, Ultra LSI, circuits with millions of them. Continued advances in silicon integration technologies double the processor performance in about every 1.5 years. As computer components continue to shrink in size, more and more functions are possible by CPUs. There currently exist several classes of CPUs. What CPU we choose for a computer system can have a dramatic effect on its overall performance. Data storage devices of computer. The term computer memory is defined as one or more sets of chips that store data program instructions, either temporarily or permanently. Computer memory is used to store information and programs. A memory unit is an ordered sequence of storage cells, each capable of holding a piece of data. Every cell has a unique address. The address is used to locate the cell for storing and retrieving data. Today's computer memory, like the CPU, is built on silicon semiconductor chips containing thousands of transistors embedded on their surface. Compared to the CPU chips, memory chips are less complicated, slower, and less expensive. Computer stores data in digital form. There are two types of data storage devices, namely primary and secondary storage devices. Primary storage devices. The primary storage devices of a computer are actually part of the computer's memory. Random access memory, RAM, it is used for storing information temporarily. RAM is volatile, that is, when the computer is switched off, the information on the RAM disappears. RAM is very fast but is much more expensive than other storage devices. The stuff you are working with at any given time is stored in RAM. Cache. Cache is a special random access memory, RAM, that can be accessed more quickly than a regular RAM. This memory is typically integrated directly with the CPU chip or placed on a separate chip. The basic purpose of cache is to store program instructions that are frequently used by software during operation. CPU first looks in the cache memory for the instructions instead of other large memory devices for fast accessing of data. This increases the overall speed of the software. Brain booster. Cache is also known as CPU memory. Large-size caches increase system performance but are more expensive. Usually PCs have 128K to 512K cache. Read-only memory, ROM. ROM is used to store data permanently as it is non-volatile. The disadvantage of ROM is that the data stored on it cannot be changed. The access rate is much lesser as compared to that of RAM. Unlike RAM, ROM is not expensive. Usually a small starter program, BIOS, is stored in ROM to start the computer by loading the operating system in the computer memory. Secondary storage devices. Secondary storage devices, also known as external memory or auxiliary storage, differs from primary storage in that they are not directly accessible by the CPU. The computer uses its input-output channel to access secondary storage. Secondary storage does not lose data when the device is switched off, it is non-volatile. Secondary storage devices are a cheap source of storing bulk data. Floppy disk. Floppy disk is a magnetic storage device which is set in square plastic shell. 3.5-inch floppy can hold 1.44 MB of data. Floppy disks are not used anymore because of their limited storage capacity. Optical disc, compact disc, digital versatile disc, Blu-ray disc. The data in CDs and DVDs is stored in optical format. There is 6 times more storage space in a DVD as compared to a CD. The floppy drive and CD drive are often referred to as drives with removable media or removable drives for short, because you can remove whatever disk is currently in the drive and replace it with another. DVD can store several GBs of data as opposed to around 650 MB of a CD, while a Blu-ray disc can store around 20 GB of data. Hard disk. Everything which is currently stored in your computer is actually on the hard disk. Unlike RAM, which is volatile, the hard disk can hold information forever even if the power is switched off. Storage capacity of most of the modern hard disks range from 100 GB to 500 GB. 1 billion bytes makes a gigabyte. USB flash drive. A USB flash drive is a data storage device that consists of flash memory with an integrated universal serial bus (USB) interface. USB flash drives or pen drives are typically removable and rewritable. They are plug-and-play devices. USB flash drives or pen drives are used for the same purposes for which CDs and DVDs are used, for example, to transfer and store data. They are smaller, faster, have thousands of times more capacity, and are more durable and reliable. Pen drives of 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB are easily available in the market. Mouse. A mouse is a hardware device which allows the user to control the cursor and manipulate data without complicated commands. The mouse was originally referred to as an XY position indicator for a display system. Today, the mouse is found attached with every computer and is an important input device. Different types of computer mouse. Mechanical mouse. Mechanical mouse consists of a roller ball and is required to be set on a flat surface. The distance and the speed of the roller inside the mouse determines how far the cursor will move on the screen. Optical mouse. Optical mouse uses a light sensor to detect tabletop movement and then sends off that information to the computer. This type of mouse is much more accurate than the ordinary mechanical mouse. Infrared, IR, or radio frequency codeless mouse. For both these codeless mouse, the mouse is not connected with computer through any wire. The codeless mouse requires power, which comes from the batteries. Touchpad. A touchpad is an input device found in laptops and is now also available with some external keyboards. It allows you to move the cursor without the need of an external mouse. A touchpad is operated by dragging fingers across a flat surface. As you move your finger on the surface, the cursor will move in the same direction. The touchpad also has 2 buttons below the touch surface that enables you to click like a standard mouse. Joystick. Joystick is a peripheral input device that looks similar to a control device you would find with video games. A computer joystick allows an individual to easily navigate an object in a game, such as navigating a plane in a flight simulator. Track point. Track point is also known as a style pointer or nub. It is a type of mouse solution used with laptops. It was first introduced by IBM, that resembles a pencil's head and is located between the G, H and B keys on the keyboard. This technology enables a user to keep their hands on the keyboard and still be able to control the cursor movement. The left and right buttons are located under the space bar. The keyboard. Like mouse, keyboard is also used to interact with your computer. Most of the keys on the keyboard are laid out like the keys on a typewriter. But there are some special keys like Escape, Control, and Alt, Alternate, which performs various tasks. There are some keys across the top of the keyboard marked F1, F2, F3, F12. These are called the function keys, and their function depends on the program you are using them with. Most keyboards have a numeric keypad and a set of navigation keys. You can use the navigation keys to easily move around in text documents. The navigation keys won't move the mouse pointer. Only the mouse moves the mouse pointer. Combination keystrokes, Control, and Alt keys are often used in combination with other keys to perform some tasks. We often refer to these combination keystrokes as shortcut keys because they provide an alternative to use the mouse for selecting menu options in programs. Shortcut keys are always expressed as key 1 plus key 2, where the idea is to hold down key 1, tap key 2, then release key 1. For example, to press Ctrl plus Escape, hold down the Control key usually with your little finger, tap the Escape key, then release the Control key. To press Alt plus F, you hold down Alt key, tap the letter F, then release the Alt key. Activity 1. Find out at least 5 combination key sets which are commonly used. Hint: Alt plus F4 is equal to exit the application. Printers. Printers are used to get hard copy, printout on papers, of data stored as soft copy, that is in form of a file on computer. First came the inkjet printers, fast and efficient. Then came the laser printers, even faster and with better quality. The true difference between an inkjet printer and a laser printer is their printing methods. Though people often group the two based upon their speed, clarity, size, and other capabilities, the real separating factor is the way they print. Inkjet printers use ink cartridges. The ink in the cartridge is either black or colored, depending upon your printing needs. If the ink is colored, 3 compartments within the cartridge keep cyan, magenta, and yellow ink apart. The bottom of the cartridge has a set number of tiny nozzles. When the printer is given a print job, the ink cartridge receives its orders and sprays out the ink in whatever pattern it is told to in order to give the desired results. Now companies have split up the colors, so you no longer have to throw out a color cartridge just because it ran out of a single color. Now you can buy cyan, magenta, and yellow all separate, replacing only the color you need at an even cheaper price. Black is still sold on its own. Toner is a different object altogether used in laser printers. The printer warms up the toner cartridge, which contains carbon particles mixed with a polymer. The heat melts the mixture and then transfers it onto the paper, where it immediately dries. This is why when papers roll out of a laser printer, they are warm. Toner cartridges are generally expensive than ink cartridges. While inkjet printers themselves are cheaper, their ink is much more expensive if we check for per-page printing cost. Ink cartridges need to be replaced fairly often if you print a lot, and especially if you're printing pictures. Thus, ink cartridges are not cheap. On the other hand, toner for laser printers is pricey, but will rarely need to be changed. If you're using a laser at home, you may never need to change the toner. Though toner is expensive, but the per-page cost of printing remains low. In general terms, laser printers have higher resolution, so they have better print quality. Inkjets create images by spitting out tiny droplets of ink, so their resolution is lower. If you look closely at a page printed on a laser printer and the same page printed on an inkjet, you will be able to see that the laser has smoother edges to the phones. Inkjets are usually quite a bit cheaper than lasers, and color inkjets are much cheaper than color laser printers. Typically, inkjet printers are slower than laser printers. Laser printers are very fast and thus strongly preferred by the majority of businesses. However, they tend to be more expensive, but if you want to print out high-quality color images, laser printer is a better choice. When deciding for a printer, you need to consider what you will be printing and which type will best suit your needs. Difference between a laser printer and an inkjet printer. Inkjet, laser. Inkjets are better choice for limited home use. Lasers are good for high-volume application areas such as offices, DTP units, etc. Inkjets create images by spitting out tiny droplets of ink, so their resolution is low. Have high resolution as ink from toner spreads evenly on paper, hence better quality. Printers themselves are cheaper, but ink cartridges are expensive and needs or get refilled frequently. Printers are expensive, but toner rarely needs to be changed. Good and cheap for photo printing. Expensive for colored printing. Slow printing. Fast printing. Activity 2. Find out the type of printer that you are using in your computer lab. What's the difference between a desktop and a laptop? Laptop computers are portable computers that you can carry along and use in different environments. Laptops are easy to pack up and can be used anywhere. They include a screen, keypad, and a trackpad or a touchpad, which serves as the mouse. Because laptops are meant to be used anywhere, they have a battery which allows them to operate without being plugged into a power outlet for hours. Laptops also include a power adapter that allows them to use power from an outlet and recharges the battery. PCs, desktops, are typically more powerful and offer better working conditions but are tied to one place. There was a time when portable computers used to be significantly slower and less capable than desktop computers. Advances in manufacturing technology have enabled laptops to perform nearly as well as their desktop counterparts. In fact, high-end laptops often perform better than low or even mid-range desktop systems. Most laptops also include several I/O ports, such as USB ports, that allows the standard keyboard and mouse to be used with the laptop. Modern laptops often include a wireless networking adapter as well, allowing users to access the internet without requiring any wires. While laptops can be powerful and convenient, the convenience often comes at a price. Most laptops cost much more than a similarly equipped, same configuration, desktop model with a monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Furthermore, working for long hours on a laptop with a small screen and keyboard may be more tiring than working on a desktop system. Generally speaking, a laptop uses less power. Laptops are an all-in-one solution and are made to be energy efficient as compared to desktops. Why you need UPS for your desktop? Suppose you are working on an important document on your desktop and suddenly the power trips. If you have saved the file, then it is okay, but what if you have not saved the file? In such a situation, a UPS would help you. UPS stands for Uninterrupted Power Supply. With the name itself, you can find the purpose for what the device is designed. UPS provides continuous power to the computer when there is a power cut. They are not generators to give supply throughout, they are just storage devices which store energy and release them when there is a power failure. In simple terms, they perform the major function of power backup for limited time. UPS also regulates the voltage and gives a constant output supply to the computer as well. Recap. A computer is an electronic machine that stores and processes digital information. Hardware are parts which you can actually see and touch. RAM is fast but volatile. Hard disk is non-volatile and has huge storage space. USB flash drivers are portable and used to transfer data from one complete to another. USB stands for Universal Serial Bus. Mouse controls a cursor to manipulate data without complicated commands. A touchpad is operated by using your fingers and dragging it across a flat surface. A joystick is an input device mainly used for playing games.
Like, share and subscribe.